Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It is a beautiful Wednesday here. Starting to get cold here in North Carolina. It was in the 50s today. Definitely jacket weather. Love the crisp mornings, though. I am more of a cold person than a hot person. I think that you can always bundle up, but it is hard to avoid the heat, especially in North Carolina where it gets really humid and gross. And stepping outside is just brutal. At least with the cold, you can put on a jacket, beanie, mittens, whatever you want to stay warm. I love it. It's not so great for skating, though. I do have an issue with skating in the cold. My rule of thumb is, and this is kind of topical for tonight, but my rule of thumb is I don't skate if the temperature outside is lower than my age. And I'm 47 now, so every year it gets a little bit higher. And every year I think, you know what, skating in the cold is just not worth it. It takes longer to warm up, much more risk falling down, touching something and hurting your hand and it being so cold on the coping or on the rail that it's just the worst feeling. So I don't love skating in the winter, but I do love the cold as a climate, getting out and walking around in the cold. I love a nice brisk morning. So very excited for the next couple of weeks. And then we have Thanksgiving, which is great if you celebrate in the U.S. If you're outside of the U.S. and you still celebrate, happy Thanksgiving early. We'll probably have another show before Thanksgiving, so getting a little ahead of myself, but already planning ahead for a nice wind down of this year. Got a busy couple of weeks up until then, though, so appreciate you joining me tonight. It should be a fun show. Got a lot of new stuff to share, got some stuff to talk about, and hope that I can share some information about how I am able to continue skating at my level. And, you know, I'm 47, so definitely my level is all relative, but for me, being able to go out there and skate, do the tricks that I want to do on the obstacles that I want to do the tricks on, that is a huge accomplishment. So there's always going to be haters thinking that I need to do more. I'm very happy with the level that I'm at in skating. I wish I were a better skater, and I always strive to improve. But being able to go out there and skate at my age, and hopefully next year, and hopefully the year after, and hopefully for the next foreseeable future, I'll be able to go out there and skate. So a few tips for you to stay in shape and to take care of your body so that you can go out and skate as long as you want to. Anyway, looks like everybody is doing great and the audio is good, so let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to Gear Talk episode 121. Gear Talk is the show that I do every other week, where we talk about the geekier side of rollerblading. If it hurts when you wake up in the morning and you can only skate aggressive once a week, otherwise your body will fall apart, this probably, you know, this episode might be for you. The show itself is about technology and dialing in your setup and making sure that every time you hit the skate park or you go out skating in your neighborhood that your gear is dialed so that you can have a great session. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about getting older, taking care of your body so that you can skate more often. If that's the sort of thing that you're interested in, you've come to the right place. Gear Talk is the show that I do every other Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube. I love doing the live streams. We're at episode 121, which means we've been doing this for a good 3 years, maybe even 4 years. I don't really know when the first episode was. I don't do it every other week. I try to do it every other week. Sometimes I have to miss a week. I don't think I've ever done one more than once every 2 weeks. I don't think I've ever done one every week. Maybe a special occasion where we had a guest that was in town. I did one in a week after another, but really it's every other Wednesday. That is the goal. If you're able to join us live, love having you here. We do this at 9 p.m. so that there's time for the West Coast and the East Coast of the U.S. To sit down, have a nice drink, get some dinner or whatever, and enjoy the show, talk amongst yourselves in the chat, and ask some questions if you like. If you're outside of the US, I know that this time isn't convenient for you. It's the best time for me. I am a family guy. I have 2 kids, a lovely wife, 4 dogs, 4 cats, and 6 chickens. So it is a very busy home. And after work, getting dinner on the table and getting everything settled, this is probably the earliest that I could start the show, maybe 8 o'clock if I were pushing it. But I like having a little downtime to talk with the guys and the girls in the chat before the episode. Get to know what's going on, get warmed up for the show. I hate rushing these things. I've had to rush a couple of times. So we do it at 9 p.m. Eastern. I know that it's not great for everybody. It's the best time for me, though. If you're watching in the future, absolutely appreciate you taking the time out. We usually go 2 hours or so, so it is a long show. I don't expect people to tune in live and sit around for 2 hours. I do love watching the shows in the future, though. It lets me look at the chat and see what everybody's talking about, see if there are any questions that I might not have had an opportunity to answer, or any ideas that maybe people were talking about that I can expand on for the next episode. I really love listening to the community, and everything that y'all bring to the table really helps mold what the show is going to be like, what the products are going to be like. A lot of great ideas from the community. So again, I couldn't do this show without you. Really appreciate you showing up. Before we get started, I would like to thank my friends over at the Helmet Initiative for helping us with our helmet giveaway. This kind of gets into the topic for tonight, but I am a big proponent of wearing your helmet. I feel like as you are getting older, as you have your responsibilities in life, it is important to take out a little bit of insurance. You get insurance on your car when you go driving. You get insurance on your house in case of a fire or an emergency. There's no reason you shouldn't get a little bit of insurance when you go out and skate. Your head is very important. If you hit your head, it could impact your life. And I'm not talking about a big hit. You know, if you fell down and hit your arm or hit your elbow or hit your knees, it's going to suck, but you're going to live. If you hit your head with that same amount of impact, which definitely is a possibility, you could end up in the hospital. You could end up with some serious brain injury. And I don't want that to happen to anybody. I wear a helmet every time I go out and skate. It is super important for people to wear their helmets. I'm not your dad. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I am going to recommend that if you have the opportunity to wear a helmet, wear a helmet. You can't control other people at the skate park. They can run into you. You could slip down a transition. You could slip on a crack, and you could end up falling. And that's not a good way to end up in the hospital. If you cannot afford a helmet, I understand times are tough. It is important that I can give back as much as I can to the community that helped me become who I am. So I try to give away a helmet for every episode of Gear Talk. If you are interested in winning a helmet, go to backtoblading.com/helmet. Let me bring up that URL real quick, actually. Backtoblading.com/helmet. Backtoblading.com/helmet. There's the URL. Here's the link. Backtoblading.com/helmet. It is the place to go if you want to sign up to win a helmet. I have a helmet for some lucky winner tonight. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Put in your information. I won't spam you. I won't sell your information to a mailing list. It's just used to get in contact with you. If you win, I delete all of your information after this week. If you win, if you're in the US, I will send you a helmet. I'll get you a sizing chart. I'll figure out what size helmet you need. I've had a few helmets donated from our friends over at thehelmetinitiative.org. It's a great organization that helps get helmets on people's heads. They've sent us a few dozen helmets to give away to people, and I've been trying to get rid of them as quickly as possible. So if you are out there, fill out the form. You want a helmet, we would love to give you a helmet. If you're outside of the US, instead of sending a helmet to you, we're going to send you some money so that you can buy a helmet in your local currency. Support a local skate shop. Avoid import taxes. Avoid paying extremely expensive shipping to get a helmet somewhere that really they already have helmets there. I would rather just give you the money to buy a helmet locally. We are able to do this because we have supporters on Patreon. Patreon.com/backtoblading is the place to go to learn more information. I've been trying to post more to the Patreon lately. Few behind the scenes things as I've had projects pop up and different sessions that I go on. I love seeing the responses that I get to the Patreon posts. It feels like a a special group of people that just love what I do. And I mean, I appreciate that, obviously. It's important to me that I'm out there having fun for myself, but it's always encouraging to see other people maybe living vicariously through my events. So if you are interested, even $1 a month would help. It all goes to our Helmet Initiative Fund and keeping the lights on here at Back to Blading. Patreon.com/backtoblading for more information, and thehelmetinitiative.org for more information on that great organization. Take a little bit of water. I've got a little raspy voice real quick. Got some sort of a sinus thing going on, so not sure what is going on. I hope that tomorrow is okay. You never know. Seasons change. Let me mute real quick. Can I mute? I don't know that I can mute. Can I mute? I hope that muted. Tell me if that muted. I needed a cough, and I think that it muted. Looks like it muted. All right. Before we get started, I have a little bit of housekeeping. So there's been a bunch going on here at Balanced Distribution I wanted to share with you. One thing that's going to take a little bit of getting into, but I've got a few new products that I wanted to share. First of all, starting with the new wheels from Chroma. We've been doing wheels for about 2 years now, I think, maybe 3 years. Chroma is a great brand, one of my favorite brands that I'm involved with. We make really fun wheels, and I feel like putting fun colors on your frames. Black skates forever. I'm a big black skate fan. I do like customizing frames in different colors for frames, but wheels are an exception. I love colored wheels. I love bright colored wheels. I feel like that's the area that you can really bring out a little bit of color. It's not too big, like bright skates, not a fan. But black skates with a black frame and a pop of color from the wheels, that's where I'm at. So Chroma is all about bringing the color out there. We've done orange, we've done blue, we've done purple, we've done red, we've done a bunch of different colors. This week we are receiving our shipment of our newest wheel. They should be here tomorrow. I paid for the shipping today, and they are at the warehouse, coming to my warehouse tomorrow. They are the new V4 of the Stefan Brando wheel. So these are the new Stefan Brandos. These came in, we got these samples a month and a half ago. Stefan did an amazing promo. If you haven't seen it already, go to chromawheels.com. You can see the skating. Really, really amazing promo. The guy looks at skating differently, which I always appreciate. You know, there's nothing wrong for me going to a ledge and just sessioning the ledge all day, but I love watching skating when people look at things differently. I like seeing new tricks, new ways of getting downstairs or getting over an obstacle. And Stefan just epitomizes that style of skating. His new wheels use the same packaging. These are the old Chroma packaging that we used for the purples. They were upside down. I didn't realize that, but these are the old packaging that we use for the purples. We use the same packaging for 2 runs. It helps us get the costs down so that we don't raise our prices for wheels. But the wheels this time, instead of being purple, are a beautiful bright pink. So these are the new Stefan V4s. They are a bright pink urethane. It is a 3-color print on the front, the dark pink, the yellow, and what's the other color? Maybe it's just 2-color. It was 3-color on the other one. Maybe we just did 2-color on this one because we wanted the pink to flow through. And then on the back, it is a 2-sided print. So it has the yellow Chroma pattern on the back. Beautiful print. It is a lovely pink wheel, rounded profile. These are a 60mm 90A. Really love these wheels. All of the Chroma wheels come with a full custom packaging. Inside the packaging, you also get a sticker sheet. We do a new sticker sheet for each release. Comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stickers that are included in the box. Some people like to collect the boxes. Put the sets on a wall somewhere. I have all of the wheels on a wall here that you can have for posterity. But absolutely love these wheels. They should be here tomorrow. If you've already pre-ordered, I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. We should be shipping them out tomorrow. If not, Friday and Monday, depends on how quickly I can get through the orders. So these are new Chroma wheels. There are also new mushroom blading wheels. I don't have them here, but they are on the same shipment. They are the 76 millimeter 87A Hosers wheels, designed for all-around skating. If you want to do a flat 80 millimeter setup, but you want a little bit more responsiveness and a little lower ride, 76 is a great size for that. The boys like skating them on the PR76. I like skating them on the Rossi's 1992s. And if you haven't seen their promo video, it's brilliant. A lot of hockey references, a lot of just weird stuff. I mean, you know, mushroom blading, they're always out there pushing boundaries, which is why I love working with those guys. But the 76 millimeter hosers, if you haven't already learned about them, take a look, go to mushroomblading.com and you can get more information, or go to their Instagram and you can find more information about them. Those are on the same shipment as well. They'll start shipping tomorrow or next week. We also have for Compass. We don't do a lot of Compass releases because Compass is kind of a big wheel brand. We do 1 or 2 releases a year. We've had, from the beginning, black wheels. Black has always been a great wheel color for me. I love a black wheel, but I've heard enough people ask for a white wheel that we decided that we were going to start making wheels in white. So it is the same graphics, the same sizes, the same pricing that you've grown to love from Compass, but now in a white urethane. These are the 72 millimeter wheels. These are the Durham wheels on the Compass 72 millimeter frame. They are 85A, same graphic that you're used to from the Durham wheels, but the white, it's very beautiful wheels. I do love the white wheels, more of a black wheel fan myself, but I can understand why people love the white, especially on a white frame. I like this look. White frame with a white wheels. These are the 72s again, 72 millimeter wheels. They are a rounded profile, so it's perfect for any situation. If you want to skate them with wish frames, if you want to skate them as a recreational setup, or if you want to throw some Compass frames on your skates. Great option. We also make them in 80 millimeter with yellow frames. Love the 80s with the yellow frames. The white wheels really make this pop. This on a white skate is a really good look. Any of the frames are available. You can get them ready to roll with Compass Swiss bearings. They spin very fast. This is fresh. Actually, these aren't fresh. I think I skated those bearings. Let me get another bearing. This one spins faster. There. That is what a Compass Swiss bearing looks like. They're available in all different colors, white, black, or yellow, 72 millimeter or 80 millimeter. You can get them next week. They'll be shipping next week. We're going to put them on pre-order Saturday. The wheels are here tomorrow, so we'll be able to start shipping next Monday. And then finally, that is finally, no, I've got one more, actually. 2 things from 50/50. So first, we have our newest balance frame. So I've been on a kick of giving, or I guess working with, not giving, nothing's given in this world, working with some of our ambassadors this year. So we have an amazing pro team, but we also have an amazing ambassador team. And those are skaters that might not be able to get out there and skate as often as they need to in order to go pro. Maybe they've done a ton for the community, but they really have other things going on in their lives. But that doesn't mean they're not amazing skaters, and that doesn't mean that we shouldn't give them a little bit of that focus, that spotlight, because they are great and they've done great things for the community. We started with the Scott Crawford frames this year. It was a Balance 2 frame, a gray Balance 2 frame. We did the Chad Tannehill frame, who's actually coming up. He's not as much of a ambassador as he is like an amateur on his way up to pro. He's got a wheel with red eye, so a slightly different situation with Chad. But he had a yellow prime frame with black cores, and now we're very happy to be working with my friend John Cooley. John is a local. He lives in Greensboro now, outside of Greensboro. But he's been in North Carolina all his life. He went to App State, which is where my daughter might be going. He is an amazing guy. He's done amazing things for the community here. Great skater. He's been recovering from injuries the last couple of years. So he's one of those guys that was on the Hammer era. He did huge gaps, drop rails, all that sort of thing, and really did a number on his knees, and is finally getting back to the point where he's able to skate a little bit more, but he's got to take it slow. You know, if you go out there and you go hard, as you get older, it hurts, and it takes longer to recover. So we've been working with John on his promo edit. He's been out there shooting. He should have an edit done end of November. That's the goal. But we were thrilled to work with him on this Balance 2 frame. This is his frame. It is a yellow Balance 2. So this is the frame for John Cooley. It is a yellow Balance 2 frame, black axles. It's got his logo in the middle, which has a map of North Carolina on the side, and then a disc golf goal. That is his passion. He loves playing disc golf. He's just always out there on the course. He's got one on his land. Outside of Greensboro. I keep saying Greensboro. I think he lives in another area. Maybe he was in Greensboro and he moved. But he's got a disc golf course on his property, so he goes out there and plays a lot. Absolutely love the Balance 2s. I'm going to be skating them a little bit this weekend. It is a great frame. Low profile, flat 60. You can ride 65s anti-rocker if you want. His frame is going to come if you want, so he doesn't have a current wheel sponsor. But if you want to get a bundle, the way that he rides them is with 60 millimeter wheels and juice blocks. So we're going to be offering this bundle as a ready to roll setup from our website. If you want to pick up a pair, black juice blocks, black 60 millimeter 90A wheels. They'll come with the AVEC 9 bearings for a really great price. I think we'll price these around $100, ready to roll. So it'll be a really great bargain to get you ready to roll on some nice grinding skates. These are, I mean, I love skating juice blocks on big obstacles. He loves it because he just hates wheel bite. So he likes skating anti-rocker, but juice blocks are just zero bite. You're never going to have to worry about it. Really great setup. I'm really thrilled to be working with John on this. It's been a few, like 8 months, I think, in the works. So something that we've started in the beginning of this year. I wanted to do something really nice for all of the people that started, you know, supporting us from the beginning. So John was our first sponsor. He was the guy that I gave the first Balance 1 frames to when I brought back the brand in 2017, 2018. So he helped me test those frames, which was a lot of help. Yeah, I really appreciate him. Those frames are in stock now, so we're going to have orders start on Saturday, and we're going to start shipping next week if you are interested. And obviously, get a hold of your shop if you are interested. They should have all of this stuff local to themselves if they want as well. And finally, from 50/50, this project has been a couple years in the works. We've been very particular about the design of this product. It's gone through a lot of iterations to get to the point where it is now, but I'm thrilled to have them. They are on the truck now. They should be here on Monday, if not Tuesday. It is the new Session backpack from 50/50. So this is the Session backpack. It is available in 2 different colors, in a full black or in the gray camo. We brought in an equal amount of both. So hoping that demand is about the same for both. It looks like the demand is about the same for both. You never know with colors. You never know with camo. Love this camo look though. This is the bag that I'm going to be using. We've been making bags since 2001. That was the first time that we designed the first backpack for 50/50. And we've gone through a few different revisions, brought them back a few years ago, a slightly more streamlined version of that bag. This is the new era of bags. This is a completely redesigned bag. It doesn't have any overlap with the old bag. This is designed more for something that you would bring to the session, maybe something that you would bring on a trip if you wanted to bring it with you, like to Disney or to a theme park or something like that, or if you wanted to go for an overnight. This is the sort of bag that you want to bring. So it's got 3 zipper pockets. The first zipper pocket is the big section. This is our bulky items pocket. two zippers open up, and you can see on the inside plenty of space. This whole bottom section, just throw stuff in there. It has a laptop pocket in the back, kind of hard to see. But in case you wanted to bring your laptop or your tablet or anything else that can slide in there, there is a protected laptop section in there. Really easy, it folds down if you don't need it. But if you do need it, a nice section in there for your laptop to not move around while you're doing anything. There is a carry handle on top. I'll zip this back up so that it doesn't look like a Muppet trying to eat cookies. There's a carry handle on top. Behind the carry handle is another zipper. Open up this zipper, and there's a nice little pocket that you can fit all of your precious belongings in there. I put my cell phone in there. Fits nicely. Good place to hide your phone, wallet, things like that, keys, whatever you want. On the side, there is a vertical pocket. So this is that front pocket. This section, I usually put my drone. I know that not a lot of people have a drone, but I put my drone in here so when I go out skating, I have easy access to my drone. It's really a great place to put things that you need easy access to. So headphones, a boarding pass, maybe a tablet, maybe a magazine or something like that. Really great place. All you have to do is take it off your shoulder, grab into it, and then zip it back up. This is a new pocket. So those are all the zipper pockets. This is a new pocket that we've added. I struggled with the old backpack trying to find a place for a water bottle. So this backpack has a water bottle section with that in mind. It folds down flat, so it's out of the way if you don't need it. But if you do need it, big water bottle fits in there. Super easy to use. Throw it in there. This is a big water bottle. This is one of those 32-ounce thermo flasks. Really easy to drop in there. There is a helmet loop above it. So if you wanted to put your helmet on there, you could, and then just push your helmet over, throw your water bottle in there, pull your water bottle out. Really easy access to this pocket. You could also put a pair of frames in there if you wanted. Maybe some compass frames, go big wheeling after the session, throw them in there so that you don't have to worry about where they are. Probably most important, it has skate holders on the side. So we've redesigned our skate holder to make it a lot more efficient, easy to put together, more expandable so you can fit big wheels or smaller skates. And it's a single strap now. Let me show you how this works. Let me grab a pair of skates off the wall. These are some Aeon 80s. So the new section is similar to the old. It has this little flap on the bottom that holds your skate. All you need to do is you slide your skate in. It's going to be hard while I am holding it up. So the strap goes on top of the skate, and then this buckle goes around this way. There's a clip in the back. Is hard in a smaller, tight place like that, but you can see clip in the back, pull it tight, and there you go. So now your skates are attached to your backpack. Really easy to fit on your back. It's got new molded shoulder straps, so it fits nicely on your bag. It's a lot taller and more narrow, so it'll fit on your back really nicely. Especially with these skates on, much easier to put on your back. And easy to get off if you just want to get your skates off. One click, pop, and your skates are off. These will be available next week. They're on their way now. They are on a truck making their way from California. We will have them for order on Saturday. Shops will have them for order on Saturday. I don't know if anybody's doing pre-orders, but feel free to reach out to your shop if you would like to support your shop. I will have them at Balanced Distribution. If you want to get a set from us, you can go to fittyfittyframes.com and link over to there. They will be $70. So we're trying to keep this price competitive. It shouldn't cost a ton more than a regular backpack. It is a high quality bag. If you have an old 50/50 bag, you know that they last forever. Not great for business, but I love having backpacks. It is one of those things that I feel like 50/50 has done really well in the past, and I want to keep that tradition alive. So $70 either color. You can get them this weekend from our website or from any shop worldwide. Just reach out and see if you can order a bag. They start shipping next week. We should have them on the 6th, I believe. So we will start shipping next week. And yeah, I'm really, really happy to have these bags in stock. It has been a project that, so a little history on that project. About a year ago, John Fromm and I were talking about redesigning the 50/50 backpack because it is a great backpack, but it feels kind of dated. It has a lot of pockets, a lot of padding. The biggest issue, I'll show you with the black bag, the biggest issue is that when I'm trying to ship those older bags out to shops, I have to use, because they don't fold down very well, I have to use these huge boxes, which means that they take up so much space here that they end up costing a ton of money to ship. So it's a hidden cost, and I'm trying to avoid hidden costs. I want to make sure that with the skates, you get quality products that you actually want to use. With bags, you don't end up paying a ton for shipping. So this bag, this is the black version, this bag folds up really small for shipping. You can see how small it is. So these will fit in some of our smaller shipping envelopes. You'll be able to get these in there light. You'll be able to get these for less than 10 bucks shipped. The last ones were like $14 to ship. That just is crazy. Like, I love UPS, I love the post office, but I'd rather not give them money for no reason. This bag folds up really nicely, should be perfect for travel, bringing it around, throwing it in your suitcase if you need it when you're out there. Anyway, John and I were talking about the things that we loved about backpacks and the things that we hated about backpacks, and we ended up just brainstorming and starting to cut things from the bag. And it's like, what do we need? What's the bare minimum? And just start from there. So the first samples didn't have a lot of things, but it had the essentials. It had the skate straps, a big section, and the water bottle pack. Then we started adding things as John flies around the country. He's always on a plane. So what did he need? Well, he needed a place to put keys. He needed a place to put boarding pass. He needed a place to put headphones. So we started adding things to the bag. And then as soon as it got to the point, we were like, you know what? We've got everything we need. We just stopped. Back away. And it's like, all right, we got it. Let's not add any more. Let's ship what we've got. See what customers think. And I think you're going to love this backpack. It is a great bag. There haven't been very many new skate backpacks. I don't know why skate backpacks isn't a thing. I think I've mentioned that before on this show, that I would love to see more skate backpacks out there. There's a few companies that do a lot of bags. I think Powerslide does a lot of bags. And I want more backpacks. I think that we have more variety out there for backpacks. There's a lot of opportunities to design cool bags, and I think we've done a pretty good job at it. So orders this weekend. Get more information at 5050frames.com. They start shipping next week. Thanks for your support. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys think of this bag. All right, is that everything? I think that's everything. All right, so let's talk about my current setup. So I've got a couple things to talk about with the current setup. First of all, let me show you what I'm skating. So I've been very fortunate to be on the Standard Omni for the last 6 months. If you don't already know, Standard is the new skate company that I'm starting. The Omni is our first skate, and this is the Standard Omni. Let's get this one out. So this one looks a little different, doesn't it? So usually the Standard Omni is a black skate, or it is a white skate with a black stripe on a white skate, or a white stripe on a black skate. And I've done something a little different. So I was skating the Chad Tannehill frames. This is a flat 56mm setup. I've also skated them anti-rocker, which was a really great setup. I love these frames anti-rocker. They're good for flat, but they're really good for anti-rocker. So what did I do with the stripe? Well, instead of making the skate a single color, what we've done is we've made this sole plate separate from the skate. the sole plate comes off and it covers the bottom of the skate. I'll show you what I mean in a second. But what that means is that you can paint the bottom stripe whatever color you want. You can use tape, you can use spray paint, you can use whatever you want to make this stripe whatever color you want, whatever pattern you want, and then cover it with a sole plate. And when you miss sole grinds, it won't get damaged because it's being protected by the boot and protected by the sole plate. You can see it comes out a little bit, so my finger is underneath, touching where the tape is, but it won't get touched. You can see there's no way it's going to touch. We're really happy with this design, and as you've seen maybe in my last video, it didn't take long at all for me to put this tape together. I put on some vinyl electrical tape. This is what I'm using here. And it worked really well. You can see how clean it looks. Like that looks almost straight from the factory, like how clean and polished it looks. However, the tape did lift a little bit. So on this side, you can see, there's a reason I showed this side. You can see this side, the tape lifted a little bit. That's because the tape isn't very sticky. I wrapped it and I pulled it around and I stretched it a little bit. That's what vinyl tape is really good for. It started lifting a little bit, so really easy to fix, but I'm going to try something new this week. So I am skating out of town again. I've been on a skate park tour. I'm going to go visit some friends up north, and I am going to be skating white skates. So I am on the white standard Omnis. These are what they look like now. So this is the white standard Omni. It has a black stripe, as you can see. I'm going to be skating anti-rocker on the Sasha Lopez frames. Scott Crawford actually hit me up on one of my posts and said the blue with the white would look great. And I said, you know what? You're probably right. I'm going to try the blue with the white. So these are the blue Sasha Lopez prime frames. Got white wheels, white 60mm 88A, white anti-rocker wheels on the white standard Omni. But what if you painted the bottom blue to make the whole thing look fresh? So I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to wrap this with some tape. So I got some washi tape. This is usually crafting tape. My wife and my daughters say this is never going to work because this washi tape is known to just peel off. It's not designed for what I'm trying to do, but it's the perfect color. Look at this color match. I mean, it is almost spot on. So I got to give it a shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to customize the Omni, show you how easy it is to customize. First of all, I have not, I've unscrewed the sole plate, so it's a little bit easier. You can pull it off, you can see how it works. So the whole bottom is black. You can see this sole plate has the raise to it. So the sole plate goes on, covers, and then leaves that line available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this washi tape, I'm going to wrap it real quick and show you how easy it is. Hopefully it works with washi tape. We'll see. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it much with the camera, but I will give it a shot. I'm going to start from the back just so that it's easy to see. It's going to be hard to do on camera, but I'm going to give it a shot. Holding it, this is kind of a multi-hand operation. Holding it, it's not going to be the best job, but I'm going to try to make it clean. So you can see as I wrap it around. When I did it on the video, it was a top-down, so it was a lot easier for you to see. A lot easier for me to see, I should say. All right. Starting to tape it on. I'm going to do this section down on my lap because it's going to be a little bit easier. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night. And this is not tape talk. This is gear talk. And although this is kind of a gear-related thing, I don't think this is what you're all super interested in. I am wrapping the front area now. I'll show you where I'm at. A little progress update. Whew. See how quick that was? What was that, 15 seconds? Somebody start a timer. I'm a madman tonight when it comes to taping my skates. This is the washi tape that's designed for crafts. It was maybe $8 for a pack of 20 different colors. And my wife and kids think that it's never going to work. But I tell you what, it's working pretty well. All right, I'm almost done. Wrap, rip, sole plate. Ho! Look at this. Look at this. All right, so now let's show you how it's done. So the bottom of the Omni has 4 bolts for the sole plate. I'm going to put the 4 bolts on. We use a new 12 millimeter screw that we designed specifically for this purpose. It is a very small head, 12 millimeters. Fits perfectly in our recess to give you a lot of room to strengthen those bolts if you need to. I'm using a 4 millimeter hex key. It is an M6 bolt, so you can screw these on and off whenever you like. I've done this probably a dozen times. I've not stripped it yet. We will have extra hardware available though if you want. So sole plate is not coming off. Let's put this frame on. Look at this. Which side is the sole? This side's the sole. Pop, get on there. We're using 20 millimeter bolts because it goes all the way through the frame, through the sole plate, into, get in there, through the frame, through the sole plate. Oh, there it is. Oh, I think I have the old cores that are going to be a little bit more difficult to line up. These are a nice 167 millimeters, so it shouldn't be too bad. But lining them up perfectly, this is a V1 core, so especially with the anti-rocker wheels in, a little bit more difficult to get you lined up properly. There it goes. Get in there. Nothing like a live demo. As a software developer, that is always the fun part of any project, doing the live demo. You never know what's going to happen. All right. Oh, look at this. Are you kidding me? All right. So you saw how easy that was, how quick that was? Look at that. Come on now. And you can see how pretty it is. Look at how clean that looks. It's just a little bit of tape. So nice. So this is my current setup for this weekend. I'll be skating this. We'll report back. Make sure that you tune in if you want to see some of my antics. I'm going to be skating with some friends, some new locations. So always love to get around to new skate parks, but very excited to give this a shot. Took a couple minutes for each side. You switch around your frames, you switch around your wheels, get some pink tape for your pink wheels. It's going to be a good time. I can't wait to see what everybody comes up with. Make sure that you tag us so that we can see them. But yes, new setup, very excited. Loving the skates. Quick standard update. I actually forgot this in my housekeeping. We are starting mass production next week. So all of the materials are there. They're just organizing everything, making sure that everything is aligned. We have the final samples on their way now. So as soon as we give the sign off on the 3 other shells, I'm skating the 295 shell. As soon as we give sign off on the other shells, we will start mass production. So they have all of the materials. They're starting on the liners. They're starting on everything. So it's a very exciting time. I should have a nice update for everybody tomorrow, maybe Friday. We've been posting updates to our website, standardskate.co/news, if you want to get some information. I do have some new stuff to share though. So with the pre-orders, we wanted to do something special for people who supported us in the first week. So if you've placed your order in the first week, regardless of where you ordered from, if you bought from me or direct from a shop, we have a set of 5 enamel pins that we're going to be sending out to you in the next couple of weeks. The pins are here. So I have the pins with me. I wanted to share with you what they look like. We will be sending these out probably next week. First one, this is the standard logo. You can see how big they are. They are 30 millimeters. So it is a nice pin. It is a normal clutch back. You squeeze the thing and you can put the pin on. This is the first one. We also have the standard logo. The word mark. Beautiful pins. The oval, if you want to pretend that you skate for Solomon, or if anybody confuses this for Solomon, that's the one to do. The hands logo, which we haven't really introduced yet, but going to be another great logo. And then Spaceman, I think this one's called. Starman, not Spaceman. Dr. Spaceman. All 5 pins will be included for anybody who has pre-ordered for the first week. So if you got in before the end of day Sunday, I will get a list from shops. Make sure that I get enough of them so that I can send them out. The t-shirts are done as well. They are packed up and they are on their way. They should be here on Friday. They're shipping from Raleigh, which isn't far, but it's like an hour drive to get to. So they will be shipping them, so I'll have them, if not tomorrow, I'll have them Friday. All of that will go out next week. So it's going to be a busy week. But I couldn't be happier with the way these pins came out. Thank you all so much for the support. This project has been the most stressful time of my life. But it means a lot to know that people are just happy to support. You know, I think we've done a lot of work to bring the project to where it is now. We're trying to do everything right. You know, we're trying to take care of customers. We're trying to take care of quality. We don't want to rush things. We want to make sure that we make these skates as good as we can and then continue to iterate. And we couldn't do that without your support. So again, thank you all so much for helping us get to where we are now. It shouldn't be much longer. Keep you updated. Standardskate.co/news if you want more information. And again, thanks for all the support. All right. I think we are good. We've got everything. Okay, let's take some questions. I should have asked this earlier, but if you have any questions, would love to answer your questions. Tag back to blading. I do have, so if you're watching live, tag back to blading and I'll see the question come up with an orange outline. I do usually log in a little early to the chat, just getting things set up, getting the lights all set up and the camera and everything. So if you are interested in getting your question asked and answered quickly, join early. I'm usually around, and just leave a question and I'll get to it as quickly as I can. But, you know, huge thanks to all the people who came a little bit early to say, hey, I'm going to scroll all the way to the top and see if there's any questions that I can answer. And yeah, thanks for joining tonight. If you do have a question, make sure that you tag back to blading. If you're watching this in the future, just make sure that you leave a comment in the video. I'm really good about answering questions and comments. I read all of the comments, even the mean ones. But if you have a question, let me know. Mostly gear related stuff, like rollerblading questions are a little difficult to Google for. So if you have a rollerblading question, something that you can't get an answer for, let me know. I'm really good about solving those problems, or at least pointing you in the right direction. All right. True 27 Skeet, howdy law. Hey, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope I get to see you this weekend. It would be nice if we could align. Fingers crossed that happens. Keep on blading. That temperature rule doesn't work if you use the Celsius scale. That is correct. Just Fahrenheit here. Imperial units, American units, freedom units. I like Fahrenheit for temperature, though I think 0 for freezing is kind of cool. 100 for it's really hot is also cool. So 32 isn't too bad for freezing. You get used to it. Rygar, cold weather can cause skate shells to be brittle and break too. Yes, ask Yondi. He breaks all the things in Chicago. Every winter there's broken things. That's not the best situation to be skating in. I don't remember skates breaking that much during the harvesting the crust days. I don't know how much stuff Chris Farmer has broken, and he used to skate a lot in Minnesota in the snow. Yandi's just a different sort of guy, I guess. Keep on bleeding. It's just after lunch here. Perfect with my headphones. It's perfect timing. Well, thank you so much. Glad you're able to tune in. You must be in Hawaii or somewhere similar, I hope. Somewhere warm, maybe. Regar, I definitely have cracked a couple of helmets in the past from bales. Glad I was wearing one each time. I'm also blown out my knees. The worst one was while wearing vert knee pads. Yeah, definitely. I seem to be having a little bit of stall, so let's make sure that I don't have any weird backups going on again. My backup system is not supposed to be running, but for some reason it is. So let me pause all the things there. That might be better. All right. Is that better? Backup paused. Okay, that should be better. Sorry about that. Sometimes it decides to go without me letting it, but that is what it is. Yes, if you ever fall and hit your head with a helmet on, you should replace your helmet. The helmet is only good for one fall. Super important to note. If you hit your head with a helmet on, that's great. Glad you were wearing a helmet. Get a new helmet. It is designed to break apart and displace that impact into the helmet instead of your head. So the second fall, if you haven't replaced your helmet, will be more to your head. So make sure that you replace it anytime you hit your head with a helmet on. It's important. And you should be replacing your helmet every year, I think, every 2 years at least. I don't know what the basic rule of thumb is, but it should be more yearly, more routine to replace a helmet than just once, which is what I used to do back in the days. I don't think I ever replaced a helmet. Wiki, hi Law, just wanted to thank you for your understanding in shipping my order to Europe, even if I messed up a little while ordering. Arrive soon, can't wait. Great, I'm glad. I'm always happy to ship to Europe. The problem with shipping to Europe is it can get really expensive, and I don't want anybody to have a problem with any returns, or if there's a problem getting support, or if something gets damaged in shipment. Like, there's a lot more risk shipping international, plus the import taxes is expensive. So I don't want people to end up spending a lot more. That's a situation where there's not a lot of options because we're 3D printing them here in the warehouse. If we had more printers outside of the US, then it would be a little bit easier. We might in the future, but it's been a little difficult to get people to commit to that. So I totally understand. And again, I'm always happy to help. If you go to balancedist.com/international orders, I think you can scroll to the bottom of any page. You can see the link to international orders. You can get more information about our shipping policies outside of the US. We do have a ton of shops that we try to push people to. If you can support your local shop, if you can ask your shop to bring in items that you want, that's always the best way to get stuff. But worst case, you can always order from us. It just might take a little bit longer and it might be more expensive. C6 Money Pit, do you think what they say about adding dye to the color of the wheel affects the performance of the wheel, or is it negligible? It is a great question. I don't think it makes much of a difference at all. I've skated all different colors. You know, obviously with chroma, we do different colors all the time. And we haven't noticed any change in durability based on color. Sometimes we get bad runs, sometimes cores crack, sometimes they wear faster, but it's not due to the color. It's just sometimes pores are bad, you know, humidity in the factory, or maybe they didn't cure long enough. Who knows? Wheels are really risky. We've been very fortunate that our wheels are fairly high quality and we haven't had many returns. You know, I'm talking a dozen returns in the life of our company, which is crazy. There are definitely wheels out there that have a lot less of a high quality rate, that have returns and bad, you know, blems every now and then. The wheel business is tough. It used to be the rule of thumb that adding pigment to a wheel would make them wear differently. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but it's definitely a different thing. I have not experienced that. So at least with our factory, adding pigment hasn't had any change in the wear or the reliability of the wheel. But it's a great question and something that was definitely an issue back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Zach Markham, did you stop selling juice blocks alone because they weren't as profitable anymore with inflation as it is? No, we still sell juice blocks. You can get them, I think, from the website. The problem with juice blocks is that they were part of the mold that we used for the Balance One. So juice blocks were in all boxes of the Balance One frames. They were included with each of the frames. And as such, we made the molds for those frames, including juice blocks. So the molds include the juice blocks, which means that every time you make a set of frames, a pair of juice blocks comes out as well. That's great if you want juice blocks all the time. But if you stop making Balance One frames, I don't have that mold anymore. So we don't have that many juice blocks left. We have a few in different colors. We're really low on black and white. And when they're gone, they're gone. You know, we're not going to be making any Balance One frames anymore, and we don't want to make another mold for those juice blocks. Maybe we'll make a mold for other juice blocks, or maybe for anti-rocker wheels. We've done one for standard. Maybe we could do one for balance frames as well. But as far as those original juice blocks are concerned, we have a limited amount of them available. So that's why we're not promoting juice blocks very much, because I just don't have that many of them. But they should be available on the website. If they're not, let me know and I'll add them again. They should be there. Sean Michelson, the OG backpack isn't going to be phased out, is it? Hopefully this is just an additional option. It will. So those backpacks are expensive to make. Just completely truthful. They started getting up to a point where retail they would be around $120. And I don't want to charge $120 for a backpack. I feel like that's excessive pricing. I love the old backpacks, but I think that our new bag is a much better design. It's much better for the way that I like to skate now. I do have ideas for making a bigger bag similar to the old Fitty Fitty bag, but I don't know if we're going to make it under the Fitty Fitty brand or if we'll make it under standard, for example. We'll see. The future is bright for backpacks, though, I can tell you that much. I love backpacks. I think it's important that skate companies have backpacks because it is a thing that you wear outside of skating. Just like t-shirts, just like hats. Any way that you can represent and be part of the community outside of actually having skates on your feet, I love that. You know, I love bringing a Fitty Fitty back. Well, see, that's the thing. I wouldn't bring a Fitty Fitty backpack to Disney, but I would bring this bag all day long because it fits all the things that I need. And these skate straps, although they're nice, they're not always necessary. You can just clip them on and tighten them down and then they kind of disappear. The other backpack, it just didn't feel like the sort of bag that I would want to bring. It was very big, very bulky, very solid in shape. I love this bag because it's more flexible, more I don't really know what to say. It's a much different design. But it definitely fits, I feel like, where blading is now. Multi-purpose stuff, you know, it's not just a skate bag, it's a backpack that you can use for skating. Right. Chris Pauly, I know it's driving back to Blade crazy to show these scuffed white shells. It is. I should have cleaned them before. I did not. Thank you for calling them out, Chris. I appreciate that. I don't like you. Sean Michelson, pop some Crawford wheels on those Sasha frames. I might. I don't know that the wheels will look good, but I could definitely find some Crawford frames with some Crawford wheels. I might do that next. I bet the colors would match really nicely too. Keep on bleeding. Tape talk, I'm all for it. I don't know that that's the future of the show, but we'll see where things go. I never say no. If it's a good idea, it's a good idea. District, use some WD-40 on those shells, make them white again. I might bring some WD-40 with me to clean them up. I need to keep white shells clean. That is the biggest problem with skating a white skate. Keep on bleeding, be smart. Let the product managers do the live demos. I stick to the coding. Sometimes you've got to be a one-man shop. selling is part of every job, and having to sell your work as a UI designer slash front-end developer slash program engineering lead, it is a difficult task. So we try to hedge our bets with demos, but it's definitely something that I've had to do and had to get really good at. And related, one of the reasons why I started Gear Talk is because I wanted to be more comfortable in speaking and being able to think off the top of my head, communicate clearly and accurately, and try to get my words out. I watch this video afterwards and learn things and try to improve my speaking. So, we're at episode 121. That's, 250 hours of talking that I've done, which has really helped me improve my public speaking and my ability to communicate. So definitely, double dipping here. Pablo Skates, thanks for making the position of the sole plate bolts symmetrical. Every other boot places them randomly around the bottom, and it sets off my OCD. It does, and I give full credit to Adapt for coming up with this design. They were the first ones that I saw doing it. It is 45 millimeters from left to right, though. I think the Adapt is a little bit skinnier. They are not compatible with Adapt. I have to say that. If you buy these and you want to put Adapt sole plates on, you can use the UFS bolts, but you cannot use the same mounting system. It is a very different hole pattern. It will not work, but the concept is very smart. And you can see here, they don't even touch the frames. That's how wide it is, which is a really fun little feature for possible future products. Saying no more. Ben Vanderhagen, where did you go, Ben? I just saw you. What's the RSS feed for the Standards Nude site? I thought there was an RSS feed. I'll have to turn it on if it's not on. It's a Squarespace site and it's a blog engine, so it should have an RSS feed. If it doesn't, I will set it up. Thank you for the reminder. Ruby, so I definitely want to get Omni skates now, but as of now, here's so many people talk about Intuition liners. What's the difference between those and MyFit? Great question. Intuition is a brand of liners. So Intuition started as a ski liner company. They make ski liners. So you slide them in ski boots and you go hit the slopes. It was probably 10 years ago when Leon Basson of Wizard Skating and a lot of Canadian skaters decided to start using those liners in their inline skates. And it worked really well. I have a pair here somewhere. They're on my wall somewhere, I think. Oh no, where's my Intuitions? I know I have a pair somewhere. I do not skate these Intuitions. Ooh, I thought I put them in my, oh, I don't know where I put them. If you see my Intuitions, let me know. I know they're in a pair of skates, but I don't know which skates. I have too many skates. Well, I can't find my Intuitions. I have a pair of Intuitions. I got them with my FR, UFRs. Intuitions are a very dense foam. So think of a yoga mat, but squish it down so that it's skinnier, maybe 3 millimeters thick. That sort of foam with a little bit of bounce is what you get with an Intuition liner. And that sort of material is used all around the surface of the liner. So if you're looking for the most minimal liner with the most responsive feel, so if your skates are tied tight and they cinch around your foot and you want a feeling kind of like you're in a hockey skate or a nice athletic shoe that's tied down really tight so that when you're skating, you have no bounce. You can make little micro movements and it impacts your skate because you can adjust your edges and stuff. That's the sort of thing that Intuition liners are for. MyFit is another brand. There are a lot of MyFit liners. They usually come stock on USD skates. You'll also find them on Mesmer and on God skates and on Icon skates. They're all kind of part of the Powerslide brand. MyFit is just another brand of liners. So there are a variety of them. Some of them are bigger, some of them are skinnier, some of them are more dense, some of them are more padded. As far as a quality liner, they are a high quality liner. I've never had a MyFit liner that sucked, but each of them is very different. The liners that come on the Omni are called our comfort liners. They are our first liner, so we only have one liner now, but they are designed for a comfortable ride. So these are our comfort liners. They come on all of our skates. They are designed for just an all-around comfortable feel. They have a nice padded cuff that is heat moldable, so you can put them in the oven and you can get this material to soften. You put them on your feet, you tie up your laces, and then as it cools, it will mold around your foot. Gives you a much more comfortable feel and a more custom feel for your ankles. It has a neoprene toe in the front, a little bit more comfort so that you don't have to worry about getting the perfect liner for you. It'll fit a lot more different feet. It's got a lace-up area with a little elastic lacing, which I love. Slide it down, and then you pull your foot in there, and it's nice and snug around your foot. And it's got a heel lift area, which keeps your heel from lifting inside your skate. These are the comfort liners. All Omni will come with this, or you can get them without a liner. So just the shell, if you wanted to just get them like the shell. And then you can bring your Intuitions, or you can bring your MyFit liners, or you can bring your RL1 liners, or you could bring your Rain liners. There are a bunch of different liners out there. We love our liners, but we know that people love their liners too. So whatever liners you find that fit your feet great should be the liners that you use. If you don't have a preference on liners, I ask that you try the comfort liners, see what they feel like. If you don't like them, you can always get rid of them. But they are a great liner. They fit the skates perfectly. This contour exactly matches the inside of the boot, so it will be a nice, fully formed fit inside of the shell. But we do sell them shell only, so you could bring your own liners. Hope that helped. I wish I had my Intuitions. I have no idea where they are. Oh, I see one of them. I see the other one, so they're way over there. I have a lot of stuff in this room and a lot of shelves, and it's hard to reach everything, but Intuition are great if you're into that sort of thing. For me, I like a more comfortable ride than a responsive ride. Just depends on what sort of skating you want to do. Great question. Zach Markham, did you see my email about donating the too small helmet you sent me to my local roller hockey league? They have a kids division that could use it. Sure. I don't know that I saw the email, but if you've got a helmet and you want to pay it forward, I'm wholly into that. That is a good use of helmets. Absolutely. Please do. Keep on blading. I'm in New Zealand. Summer is just starting. Definitely not cold here. Well, thank you for joining from New Zealand. Make sure that you say hi to Kelvin and the guys over at Shred City for me. Really great shop to support if you haven't already. Donatello, I'm finally going to print the core walls I designed ages ago. Any specs to know? Nozzle size, temperature, etc. Yeah, so I think we still have the tips and tricks on the website. If you go to, where is it? 5050frames.com/core system maybe? You can get more information about it there. But I print PLA Plus, the eSun brand PLA Plus, and I use Cura for my slicing. It has a preset for the PLA Plus figment, or filament, not figment, not the dinosaur, the purple dinosaur. I guess he's a dinosaur. I don't know, he's got wings, so it's kind of weird. I guess dinosaur. He's a dragon. He's a dragon. That's what he is. Yeah, I can't think. PLA Plus filament, and they have different temperatures for different colors. I'm using a metal bed now. Justin Thursday got me hooked up with a metal bed. So I'm using a metal bed now. It prints at 60 degrees Celsius. The nozzle, I think, is at 210, maybe 220 for the black, or maybe 220 for the white. Whichever filament you put in, it selects it. So I have two different profiles for the different color filaments that I print. But that's pretty much it. And I'm also using a 0.6 nozzle. It just prints a lot faster. With a 0.4, it's going to take you a day and a half. With a 0.6, you can get done with a wall in a day. If you get stuck, if you have questions, message me. I'm always here to help. Or go to the Facebook, the DIY group. We'd all love to help you there. DJ915, have you tried metalcore wheels? I have not. I know a lot of people who swear by them, though, so it's something that I'm looking forward to testing this year, 2024 being. I'm a little worried about metalcore wheels in my knees. You know, my knees can't handle a lot of shock, and metal cores would bring a lot of shock. So the speed increase might not be worth it to me. I already skate pretty fast, and I don't know that I need to skate any faster. But I want to test them out. I want to see if there's any value to it, and maybe we can come up with a better way to do it. It's kind of what I like to do, at least try. Bobby Lightfoot, have you or do you know of anyone modding a sole plate to fit the Next skate? So Powerslide Nexts are a raised heel boot that is a Trinity mount. I don't think anybody's making a sole plate for that. I could be completely wrong, but I don't know of any Trinity mount sole plates out there. If you were trying to do sole tricks on the Next, I think you would have a very difficult time. Probably best to just get a sway or a zoom and use that with their sole plate. Those are a raised heel boot as well. A little bit more wide of a shell, but it has a Trinity option, I think. It's been a while since I've looked into the Powerslide catalog, but if you're aching for Trinity, I don't know that there's a sole plate because of the way that Trinity is designed with the points going. Do I have my Next here? Oh my God, where's my Next? I haven't had my Next in a while. Oh, where are they? I feel like I have them and I just can't see them. I have my FR1s. Where did I put my Next? You know, I don't skate my Next because they hurt my feet. So I probably don't have them handy, but I should have them within reach. Yeah, I can't find them. I do have some Trinity mount though. So these, I could just grab these down. These are the Powerslide Fusions. And you can see the Trinity mount, where the mount for the frames are on the outsides. The back one is in the middle of the boot, but the mount for the frames are on the outsides. One, it's missing a screw. This screw is missing. Don't skate these skates. But because of that, it's hard to make a sole plate because as soon as you start grinding, you're going to be grinding on that bolt. You would need to have a completely new design sole plate. It's a really custom job. I don't think anybody would recommend doing soles on this. They do have this funky frame called the, what was this called? Does anybody remember what this was called? This was the Kaiser. Do you remember what this, anybody in the chat remember what this frame was called? The Kaiser Flux, is that what it was called? It is a Trinity mount frame with a kind of a sole thing going on, but it doesn't offer you much. You see how big that sole space is. It doesn't offer you much width for a sole. Maybe if the sole plate was a little bit wider, this would be a viable option. But right now it's just, I tried skating these and doing Machios and it was a tough one. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Anyway, I would recommend if you're trying to do sole tricks, I wouldn't even think about it. You can get yourself some of those icon frames and do some groove tricks, front sides all day. But if you want to do soles, get yourself some aggressive skates. The Next are not going to be a good option for you. All right. The Night Spider Collector. What is the reaction, if any, are you getting from other skate companies in regards to the Omni? I haven't heard from very many, to be completely honest. I don't know if that's a not interested, don't want to talk to me, anger. I don't know. I can say I did hear from Clark over at Faction, who was the first person to order the skate. So there is a there is a definite support from the community. I don't know what other skate companies think about it. Honestly, I've been heads down. I don't really care what other skate companies think about it because I'm doing my thing. But yeah, I don't know. I would be very curious to see what they think when we go to a trade show and I'm able to actually see people and talk to them. But nobody's reached out, if that's what you're asking, except for Clark, who's a good dude. Ruby, how much is the backpack going to be? The bags are going to be $70. They should be available this weekend for order, and then they should start shipping next week. We don't have a ton of them coming in. I've got a bunch of shops picking them up as well. So if you want to get one for the holidays, make sure that you order it early. We will have another run started probably in January, so we can have another release for spring. But this is going to be it for winter. So if you want one, make sure that you grab one quickly. Keep on Bleeding. Shred City Skates is my go-to shop. Don't worry. Good man. Stefan Brando. It's cold here and I'm old. Can I come be warm and old with you? Anytime. Always welcome. We should do a gear talk here, Stefan. You know that you're always welcome. It is much warmer here than it is in Columbus. That I know. And the hugs are even warmer. Keep on Bleeding. I've been skating aluminum famous wheels for years and love them. No issue with my 45-year-old knees. I do use footprint insoles for impact. Well, there you go. FP insoles are great. I feel like FP insoles can be a little soggy, and I would rather not have that feeling. But again, to each their own. Something that I need to test this year and see if it's worth investing some time into making aluminum wheels or hardcore wheels, hard big core wheels. Eddie Effany, hope you are well, Law. Currently my tailbone is aching again, old injuries. Wonder what would be best way to get better. I think we'll talk about that. So I'm all the way down at the end of the questions. It's a perfect time to talk about getting old and how to deal with things. My tailbone hurts a lot too, Eddie. That is one of the places that I get a constant injury. And I do have a few tips for fixing that lower back pain, tailbone injuries, things of that nature. Let me get a little bit of water and then we'll talk about getting old. All right. So I am 47 years old. I'm very open about my age. I feel like I am one of the older guys out there still doing it. Definitely one of the older guys with an active YouTube channel or most public-facing older dudes. There are a bunch of us out here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the oldest skater, but I do represent a generation of skater who started way back in the early 90s and has kind of come in and out of blading over the years, but the last 5-6 years I've been skating a lot. I skate every week, and I want to share a few tips on how I got back into blading, what sort of things you need to do to prepare to get into blading again at an older age, older being probably 35 plus. I think that's fair. As soon as you start hurting your back sneezing, I think that's the sign that you're getting old. I see a lot of people on Facebook over the last couple of weeks posting that they're coming back. And I love seeing that. It means that there is still hope that blading will stay strong. We are a strong community now, but we're always welcome to new bladers. And I love seeing more energy, more people coming back into it because it has given me so much. And I couldn't be happier. I give a lot of that credit to the blading community for just being part of my life. And I would love more people to be involved with it. So a few tips and tricks. I'm going to talk about how to prep, what you do when you're skating, and then how to recover afterwards. Most important thing, if you're coming back into blading, if you're skating when you're older, set your expectations reasonably. You are not a young buck anymore. Falls hurt, and it takes a long time to recover. You have probably put on a little bit of weight, and it's harder to jump. These are all things that are totally normal. Come to grips with the fact that you're not going to be able to skate as much. You're not going to be able to jump as high. It's going to hurt more. All of those things are just normal, day-to-day. You're going to have to deal with situations. Not a big deal. The first time that you go out and skate, it's going to suck. You can watch my first video, which was back in 2007, 2008. And it hurt just dropping in on a mini ramp. It hurt just airing over a fun box, and I was winded and I was out of breath. Even though I had been playing ice hockey heavily for 3 to 4 years before then, I was in good shape. But going out there and skating transitions, going out there and skating aggressive is a very different set of muscles that you haven't used in a long time. So set your expectations accordingly. I see a lot of people go out there, think they're, back in high school, they can throw it and, have no problem, and they end up getting worked. And I don't want anybody to get out there, really hurt themselves their first session. Take it slow, put some wheels on, go out there and skate, and just enjoy being on blades again. There's no better feeling in the world than having wheels on your feet. You might have the skates that you used to have. A lot of us had old skates that they kept in a closet, or maybe they put in the garage, or they put in the attic or something like that. Odds are those skates are no longer good. Plastic has a shelf life of about 15, maybe 20 years. So if you are skating these K2 fatties that you loved as a kid, they're probably going to crack and disintegrate on you as soon as you go out there and skate. Those are great skates. You can see my wall. I've got a ton of skates that mean something to me. If those skates still mean something to you, rather than go out and skate them and potentially hurt yourself because they're going to break, and they are going to break, find yourself a spot in your room, in your living room, in your office, wherever. Get yourself a nice little shelf or a display cabinet. Put those skates up there and look at them. Put them under a spotlight if you want, but don't skate them. You are going to hurt yourself. You're going to destroy your skates. Where are my fatties? I have plenty of skates here that have just disintegrated over the years. And it is because plastic is not meant to last forever, especially plastic under stress, which is what we do with it. So my recommendation, definitely keep those skates, hold those skates, love those skates, but put them on the shelf. Get yourself a brand new pair of skates. Skate technology has come a long way. You can find great deals on skates right now. There is a flood of inventory after the COVID times, where a lot of rollerbladers got back into it during COVID. Manufacturers made a ton of skates, and shops bought a ton of skates. That means they have a ton of skates in stock and they're trying to get rid of them. So you can get some great deals on some great skates from the last year or two. You don't have to dive into Play It Again Sports or eBay or anything to find the old skates that you loved. Chances are those skates are going to fall apart. New skates are amazing. They're light, they're responsive, they perform the way that you wish your skates used to perform. Couple of great brands to support. USD is a great brand. They started back in 97, maybe 98, and are still alive and kicking it. Probably one of the oldest aggressive brands out there. They are part of a bigger company called Power Slide that makes big wheel skates, recreational skates, all that sort of thing. But USD is a great brand. You can find a bunch of their skates at most of the shops. K2 is no longer really part of the aggressive world. They were huge with the fatty and they kind of tapered off over the last few years. They have started making skates again, but not aggressive skates. So if you're interested in aggressive, K2 probably isn't an option. They do have a few soft boots out there though. You can get some USD brand carbon skates, carbon frees, that are a very similar skate to the old K2 fatty I found. Other brands, Rollerblade is still a real popular one. You can find rollerblades out there. The Rollerblade Blank is their newest offering. It's a really modern skate. There's a new company called Them that started about 4 years ago, owned by John Julio. They developed their skate from scratch, so if you're interested in supporting a skate or run company, Them Skates is a great option to go for. Razors is still a thing. If you remember Razors back in the days, they're definitely still alive and kicking it. They've got a few great skates now. You can get some great pricing on some of their skates. Colts definitely were one of the most popular skates over the years, and you really can't beat that price. I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but you know, there's a bunch of different skate options out there. My skates, you know, I started a skate company called Standard. We make a skate that's our first skate. It is in production now. It should be here in the next month or two. So stay tuned and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more information on that. But there are a few options out there. The lasting impression I want to leave is you shouldn't skate the skates that you had back in the days. Spend a little bit of money, a couple $100, and get yourself a brand new pair of skates. It is definitely worth it. After you find the skates that you like, you should definitely pick up a helmet. I'm a big proponent of helmets. Pads are important. I started skating with just a helmet, and then I started getting injured. I started hurting my wrists. I started hurting my knees. And now I am at a point where I wear almost full pads every time I go out and skate. Most important thing is the helmet. So this is the helmet that I use. It is a 888 Sweat Saver certified. You want to make sure that you get a certified helmet. You can tell that they're certified. They'll have all the stickers on the inside that explain that they're certified. 888 is a great brand. They support rollerblading, which is always a plus. The Sweat Saver has a nice padding area in here that soaks up your sweat. It's nothing grosser than me going to a skate park and then wringing out while the helmet is still on, all the sweat dripping down to the ground. It is gross. That's usually when I know that the session is about to end. But it also has a nice dense material that keeps your head protected. Wearing a helmet is the most important thing that you're going to do. And we used to never wear helmets as kids, but now we are older, we are wiser, and we have responsibilities. If you have kids, if you have a mortgage, if you have loved ones, it is your duty to take care of yourself. You will be missed if you are in a coma. And I have had friends who are great skaters who have fallen and hit their head and ended up in a coma. And it is no fault of their own. It is not because they were trying something crazy. It's because they were just skating and they tripped. Accidents can happen, and I always take out a little bit of insurance. I always wear a helmet when I skate. You'll see a lot of people wearing helmets nowadays. There's no shame in wearing a helmet. I always wear a helmet. You'll see other people wearing a helmet. More people are coming around to wearing a helmet more often. Obviously, you do you, but I want you to stick around with skating. I don't want you to just come in, get yourself hurt, and never skate again. It is an amazing hobby, amazing sport, amazing pastime. Wearing a helmet will let you skate for longer. After your helmet, I usually recommend wrist guards. A lot of us work on computers. If you don't work on a computer, you're working your phone or something. Messing up your wrist, breaking your wrist, that's going to be a really bad situation. I've hurt my wrist enough that I just wear wrist guards now every time I go on skate. These are the Ennui City Brace wrist guards. These are the best wrist guards I've found. They're made by Powerslide, which is that big company that makes USD as well. They run around $60, I think. They're not the cheapest wrist guards, but they're very solid. They have a metal thing in the back, metal thing in the front. They have elastic and Velcro, so they hold your wrist really tight. I've hurt my wrist even with these. I'd hate to see what would happen if I didn't have these. I do fall down a lot. It's just the nature of the sport. So making sure that I can still type in the morning is important. I always wear wrist guards whenever I skate now. After wrist guards, shin guards is the next important thing. You might think I was going to say knee pads, but shin guards, most important thing. I buy the cheap shin guards from Target, from Walmart, from wherever. This is a Umbro soccer shin guard. I just buy them whenever I forget that I need one. They don't wear out. So long as you get a shin guard with a little bit of padding in the back. I have split my shin open numerous times. I have gotten stitches on my shins, in the last 2 years. And I was wearing shin guards. I was wearing skate shin guards. They didn't do much. I found that soccer shin guards are the best shin guards on the market, even though they're not designed for skating. They have the plastic, hard plastic on the outside with a padding on the inside. It is perfect for what we do. There might be a skate shin guard out there that is better for what we do. I haven't found it, and I've tried a bunch of them. They're either too big, too restrictive. These are nimble, they're small, they fit where I need them. I slip out a lot when I'm doing soul tricks or when I'm doing royales, and I fall down on my shins a lot. Having a shin guard will keep you from getting a big hematoma bubble, and it will keep you from splitting that shin open. There's nothing worse than getting stitches in your 40s. It's just so embarrassing. And it sucks. I mean, it takes longer to recover. So definitely recommend a shin guard. Wear them under your pants. Nobody needs to know. Finally, knee pads. These are the knee pads that I wear. These are the ALK13 Alcatraz, which is a silly name. They are a French company. I don't know if you can get them in the US. Maybe you can, but these are the best knee pads, hands down. They are a soft padding, little bit of a ripstop material, even though you can see that I've already ripped them open a little bit. The best thing about these knee pads is they also have side protection. So as I slip out on royales or I miss on a soul trick, I typically don't come straight down on my knee. I'll come down on my sides. So I hit my hips and I hit the side of my knee. This protects the side of your knees, side of your legs. Really smart design. I think they were like $70. They weren't cheap. I think you can get them in the US. If you can't, you might need to import them. But these are the knee pads that I recommend. Any knee pad will be good. But looking for a knee pad that has a little bit of side protection, that is the game changer for me. So highly recommend these knee pads if you can find them. If not, I have tried the Ennui knee pads. They worked great. I tried the G-Form knee pads. They worked great. But there's nothing better than the ones with a little side padding. That is my gear breakdown. So always recommend that you get some protective gear before you go out and skate. Always recommend that you get yourself a fresh pair of skates. Don't try to use your old helmet. Don't try to use your old skates. You make some money now. You can buy yourself whatever skates you want. Get yourself some skates that you like. Get yourself a helmet. Bare minimum, helmet and skates, and go out there and skate. That is the prep, the gear prep stuff. So before you go out and skate, there's a lot of great skate parks now. Don't try to go skate street. Skating street when you're older, it's fine, but I always feel weird. You know, you go to a park and there are kids who are having a birthday party or something and the parents are younger than you. It's just a weird look. So we have so many amazing skate parks here in North Carolina. I'm sure that you have skate parks near you. Find a local skate park, go out there and skate. You can skate as long as you want. You can wax as much as you want. The police aren't going to bug you. The parents aren't going to bug you. The kids are going to be annoying, but that is just life. But you can go out there and skate. You can practice in a controlled environment that's designed for skating. Street skating is still a thing. I love going street skating when I do. There's nothing better than doing a nice long grind on a crunchy ledge. But that is the exception for me. I go out there and skate every week, and I always skate a skate park. That is the first place that I start. Before I go out and skate, I'm stretching. And I know that this is silly. We never used to stretch as kids. But now if I don't stretch, I hurt myself. I've found that there's two types of injuries that I get. The impact injuries can be solved by pads. So I wear wrist guards, I wear knee pads, I wear shin guards, and I wear a helmet. That basically solves all of the impact injuries. The others are the strains, the pulled muscles, the rips, stuff like that. Usually that's due to the muscles being too tight and me extending them too far when they're not ready to be extended. Rollerblading uses a lot of different muscles, a lot of core strength, a lot of flexibility in your legs. It's really important to stretch. I stretch every day. So before I get out of bed, I'm already moving my neck around, stretching my neck, even laying down flat, in the bed. I get out of the bed and I sit on the side of the bed and I stretch my back out. I stretch my legs out. I stretch my neck out. I stretch my lower back. I do a lot of stretches just sitting down on the side of the bed. I try to do yoga twice a week. And it's not a long practice, maybe 15 minutes, but I have a yoga mat that I keep here at the warehouse. I use this every couple of days, and I roll it out and I do some slow stretching to definitely extend my back. My back is where I get most of my tightness and most of my injuries, lower back especially. I do a lot of sit-up style stretches. I do a lot of twisting stretches, things like that. Anything to loosen your back and give you a little bit more range of motion, that is the key. If you're into massage, that is a good thing to do. If you're into chiropractic, that is a good thing to do. But stretching, daily stretching is invaluable. You're going to need it. Your body is older. Your muscles are tighter. You need to loosen them up. Leg stretches as well. I was a hockey player. We would do leg stretches. There are a bunch of great leg stretches. Make sure that you do the ones where you stretch your legs all the way out. You put your one foot down, you lift up one leg, kind of like a ballet dancer, and you stretch your legs so that you can get your inner muscles done. You stand kind of like a flamingo and pull your foot back to get your quads stretched. Do the one where you're standing on the stairs and you lower one of your feet and lower the other feet to get the back of your calves stretched. All of those will help you with jumping, and it will help you avoid injury by tight muscles. My number one injury is always my lower back. And whenever I have a lower back issue, it's because I haven't stretched enough, I didn't warm up enough, and it kills. So definitely stretch before any time you skate. Try to get into a habit of stretching every day. It will be better for you overall in life. Skating is just a motivation to get yourself back in shape. So that is all the things that I do before I go out in there and skate. Whenever I go to the skate park, I take it slow. I usually do about 10 minutes of warm-ups. After I do my stretches, I'll skate around a little bit, low impact. I do airs over transitions, sometimes airs to flat. Make sure that if you're doing an air to a flat, that you don't come down stiff legs. Make sure that you absorb as much into your legs as you can. Super important that you get your heart rate moving, you get your blood moving so that you stay warm. Much more difficult when it's cold outside, and we are entering the cold season here in the United States. So it's important that you spend some time to warm yourself up. Grinds will come. It'll take some time to get back into grinds, but focus on one grind at a time. Get it so that you can grind everything at the skate park. So for me, that was my soul grind. That was my first trick that I did when I came back. And I just had in my head that I was going to soul grind everything. And there's no shame in doing soul grinds on everything. You can soul grind every obstacle at the skate park and be happy. It will help you relearn what skating is like. It will help you strengthen those muscles. Remember those muscles that haven't used in the last 10, 15 years. Go out there and soul grind everything. Go out there and soul grind and then come off fakie. So jump on forward and then turn and land backwards. Go out there and skate really fast. Then do the fastest soul grind that you can. There's so many variations of soul grinds that you can do. Focus on one grind. It's not about progressing anymore. It's about having fun every time you go out there and skate. There are a lot of, in the past, there were a lot of expectations for what made a skater. And a lot of people quit skating because of it. There were a lot of judging on if you were good or if you were doing the right tricks or if, you were a core skater or whatever. We just watched Brink a couple of weeks ago. So if you were a core skater or if you weren't or, whatever. There's so much more leniency now with what skating is. you can go out there and just cruise, and nobody will look any different of you. You can go out there and just work on toe rolls and heel rolls and just do wall rides all day. Nobody will care. Skating is at a point now where it has progressed, where all of the tricks have been discovered. There's still, new stuff coming out from time to time that, makes people look at skating in a different angle. But nobody cares what you do anymore. There's a great post, I'll see if I can dig it up, from Al DeLego back in the days, where a lot of people come back to blading and they see, posts on rollerblading or on Reddit or something, and they're like, where are the hammers, right? And I'm sure anybody who has been, blading for a while knows this guy that comes in. There's always a guy that comes onto the channel and says, where are the hammers? Blading was so hard back then and now it's soft. Where are the hammers? Well, Al's point, and to summarize, is that you left and skating has evolved. It's not the same skating that it was when you were skating. It is different now. And the beauty, from my perspective, of skating now is that it doesn't have to be anything. It can be whatever you want it to be. You can go out there and just skate and have a great time. You can go out there and do soul grinds as fast as you want and have a great time. You can progress and try to do as many tricks, learn as many grinds as you can, learn new grinds that you never knew back in the days. It's up to you what you want to make skating. That's the freedom that you get with rollerblading now. And I absolutely love this era of skating. It is the most welcoming, the most inclusive era that we've ever had. And I'm glad that you're interested in coming back into it, and glad that you're watching this to learn a little bit more about it. Go out there and have fun. That's all that matters. All right, so that is during the session. So again, summarize that section. Make sure that you take some time warming up. Do lots of stretches. I didn't mention, but bring a water bottle. A lot of water fountains at skate parks suck. Bring yourself a water bottle. Super important to stay hydrated when you're out there skating. Take it slow. Set your expectations reasonable. One grind at a time. Stick with that grind. Grind everything that you can there. And just have fun skating. If you find that you enjoy just skating down transitions and just airing this little gap over and over again, do your thing. Like, nobody's judging you. We all skate differently. We all have different things that we're into. Skating can be whatever you want it to be. It's awesome and it's yours. So make it whatever you want. After your session, there's a cool down period. I'll remind you, I'm 47. When I was starting skating, in my early teens, I remember there was an article in Daily Bread about skating in your 30s. And I look back at my 30s and I'm like, dude, if I were 30 now, I would be amazing. Like, I would love to be 30. 30 seems so long ago. I'm 47, it's old. Your body doesn't hold up the way that it used to. So a few things that I've found that I do after a session that allow me to function for the rest of the day and function for the rest of the week. First of all, I set my expectations reasonably. I don't push it too hard. I will skate for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. More than that, and my body just can't keep up. I get too tired, I get too fatigued, and I start threatening to hurt myself. The more tired that I am, the weaker my muscles will get. I don't force myself. I don't care about leaving the session early. I'm too old for that. If people want to hang out, I'll hang out and I'll, drink my water and I'll take some clips or something, post some clips on the Instagram of people skating. But I have a hard limit of how much I'll be able to skate because I listen to my body and I know how much I can do. On the drive home, I drink a lot of water. It's really important to stay hydrated. It helps your body recover. There are electrolyte drinks that you can put into your water bottle. I do those during the summer. I don't do them much in the winter, but during the summer I get dehydrated pretty quickly. Good gauge is the amount of sweat that you have coming out. If you are sweating a lot, that means that water is going out. That means that salt is going out. You need some sort of an electrolyte drink will help you balance yourself out. I am very fortunate that I have heated seats in my car. Not only is this great in the morning when it's cold. It is great after a session to keep my body loose, especially my back, because my back gets worked a lot when I'm skating. I put my heated seats on. I'm usually sweating in the back, but it's fine. I just lean back, let the heat work. I put my hands on my quads, and I lift myself up. I move myself around, try to stretch out that back, because there's nothing worse than the muscles getting tired, and then they start getting cold and they start getting tight. And as they get tight, they start limiting your mobility. What you want to do is you keep stretching them out, move your body around. Helps a lot. That's usually the drive home. I try to hydrate myself for the rest of the day. I only skate aggressive once a week, sometimes twice a week, but I don't push myself. And I don't know if it's skate aggressive or if it's a number of hours during the week. 2 hours a week is enough for me for aggressive. Any more than that, and I feel like I'm kind of pushing it. I can skate big wheels, so I can just put on my 90 millimeter wheels and go out and skate around my neighborhood. I love doing that. But the jumping, the falling, the impact that you get from skating aggressive, I limit that to about 2 hours a week. Anything more than that, and I feel like my body just doesn't recover quickly enough. When I get home, throw all my pads and everything in the wash my pads, wash my my clothes and everything like that, because it stinks. Don't leave them in your bag. Don't leave them in your trunk. You're older than that now. You need to take care of your stuff. Dry out your skates. Make sure that your skates don't get that funk. You're older. You know what to do. Take care of your stuff. Always take a nice hot shower afterwards. I know a lot of people take cold showers, cold baths, thing like that. I'm a hot shower, hot bath guy. I feel like that works better with my muscles. I think either way is good. Having an extreme on one end or the other. Warmth, will loosen up your muscles. Cold is good for your circulation, I guess. Either way you look at it. A bath is really great for that evening. I love a long, 30-minute bath or so. A hot bath for me. Epsom salts sometimes. I don't know if I really believe in the Epsom salts thing, but sometimes I do it. Sometimes it works, I feel. I don't know. But I do know that the heat really helps, and then it allows me to stretch again. So at the end of the day, after all of that, before bed, I do the yoga routine again. I stretch out my back, stretch out my legs, stretch out all of the muscles that I used that day to make sure that they are as loose as possible, because when I wake up the next morning, things are going to be tight because I am not stretching them, I'm not using them. It is a really tough day. That next morning is really the worst day after a hard session. So make sure that you stretch yourself out that night. Lots of, bath is always a good thing. Try to avoid the alcohol. I do drink occasionally, but after a session, a beer isn't a bad thing. But heavily drinking to numb the pain, bad idea. Give yourself some ibuprofen if it's really that bad. But yeah, I try to avoid doing that. The next day, it's going to suck. Few things that you can do. Again, stretching is really important. I am a big fan of percussion massagers. This is a Theragun. I'm sure that you've seen them before, but basically what they do is this goes very fast. Turn it on real quick. Goes really fast, and you use it on muscles that are tight. What this thing does, it just destroys those muscles. It will loosen them up. I get a really bad case in the lower back, so I use this. The way this designed is really nice. You can kind of grip it wherever you want. You turn it on, you put it on your lower back, you move it up and down, a little bit of pressure, find that spot that needs a little bit of stretch yourself out. Really helps. I use this after almost every session. The day after the session, I'm using this almost all day. Funny enough, so this one is a less expensive one. I think at $60, maybe $80. They actually sent me this. So this is a Bob and Brad branded percussion massager. Bob and Brad is a YouTube channel that I watch. Two old dudes, older than me, I guess, who are physical therapists, I think. Hilarious guys. They got great personality. They sent this to me, so I don't know I don't know how they found the channel, but they sent this to me, and it works. It's not expensive. It was, sub $100. I think this one was like $250. This was fine. So point is that you can get whatever price point of a percussion massager that you can afford. More is probably going to be better, but any of them are going to work. And I found that these are kind of the secret weapon to making your body work again the next day. It works in every area. Use it on my shoulders, use it on my body, my back, everywhere. This one was great. Charges over USB. Again, not a review, not getting paid to do this, but they did send me this. Recommend it. It's a good percussion massager. It's very inexpensive. If you've got the means, this is my heavy duty. This packs more of a punch, probably a bigger battery. It hits harder. It's kind of the one that I use more often, but any of them are going to work. It's really up to you, but I definitely recommend investing in a percussion massager. They are game changing. Any tight muscles, legs, I use on my legs, I use on my calves. Any tight muscles, this thing will just obliterate them, loosen them up. It can hurt a little bit, but it's a good hurt. And again, you're just trying to recover so that you can be ready for the next session. Finally, foam rollers. With your yoga mat, I highly recommend getting a foam roller. This one is made by TP Therapy. I've had this one. I have a few different colors of them. I leave this one at the warehouse. I have one at home as well. Foam rollers are really great for a variety of ways. It stretches out those muscles. There's a fascia, I think it's called, which is kind of like a wrapper for your muscles. Not like M&M wrapper, but like a candy wrapper. By using a foam roller and rolling over it, so you'll put this on your yoga mat and then you'll lay on it and you'll roll over it. It isolates that area that you want to focus on. I use this a lot on my back, again, lower back. My back, I don't use this much on my legs, but I know people that do. Lower back, upper back, probably where I focus the most with this. It helps stretch out those muscles. It helps loosen up the muscles. This with a percussion massager, kind of the 1-2 punch for recovery. Highly recommend getting yourself a foam roller and using it in conjunction with a percussion massager. That's pretty much it. So obviously listen to your body and don't push it. That is the main message of recovery after a session. If you are in pain, pain might be something that you need to get helped, get some professional help with. I have been able to get through most of my injuries with a mix of these things. So taking hot baths, percussion massager, yoga, stretching over the next couple of days, you're able to fix your body. I usually get injured when I don't stretch well, when it is cold outside, or when I'm pushing myself farther than I am ready to. And those three things, it's hard to not do. It's just nature of the beast. You're not going to always have the perfect situation, and you're never going to stop yourself if you're in one of those zones and you want to progress or you want to try something hard. This weekend, I jacked myself up because the transition at the skate park was wet. And I was going up and carving, and I slipped out and I fell and I tweaked the side of my back. And it hurts all the way up to my neck. And it sucks. And that's just something that I have to deal with. So I use the percussion massager. I take long hot baths. I try to loosen up my legs, loosen up my back, loosen up my neck. And every day it gets a little bit better. It's going to suck. It's kind of like Fight Club, where you're going to have these injuries after skating. And that's just a thing that you're going to do. And it kind of makes you feel like you're alive. Not that I recommend that you get hurt, but it's definitely one of the things that skating is going to be a part of your life now. As you go out and skate, you're going to get injured. So take it easy, set your expectations, and make sure that you've got some tools to recover. Most importantly, don't push it too hard. You know, it took me 5 years of skating every week to get to where I am now. And I'm not in any way at the top of my game or as good as I can be or as good as any, you know, pros or anything like that. But I can hold my own and I could do all the tricks that I want to do, and I feel great when I'm out there skating. And that, I think, should be the goal for anybody coming back into it, or anybody who's skating now, is that you should feel confident skating any obstacle that you want to, and you should have a great time every time you go out there and skate. It's great to have you back. It's great that you're here. Obviously, if you have any questions, leave a comment on this video. I'd love to help you get back into blading. And yeah, have a great time. All right. I think that is good. I'm going to cut that up and make it into a little edit so that I could put together so that people can watch it, because there's a lot of people out there who are getting back into it right now. I'm sure that you've seen the posts. I get a lot of this where I actually had somebody come back, buy a pair of Omnis, and then cancel their order because they broke their ankle. And it sucks. Like, they broke their ankle while skating. Probably some fatties, probably cracked the shell and, you know, fell, and then, you know, it didn't have any support. I hate that. I want people to have fun skating. You know, the whole point of doing the Back to Blading YouTube channel was just to share my love for skating and share with others that skating can be awesome, and there's a lot of options out there for skating. You can do whatever you want. And whenever I see somebody come back and flame out super fast because they get hurt, or, you know, they think it's not for them because, you know, their skates aren't great or something like that, it sucks. So more that we can do to help people get back into it, the better. All right, last questions of the night. So I'm going to scroll all the way up to where I was and see if there's any more questions. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. I see Eddie's question, which was the last one, so I will scroll down and see if there's any other questions. If there's any other questions, make sure you tag Back to Blading. I'll stick around for the rest of the questions. We are on 2 hours, so perfect timing. I will go through and answer any questions that there are. And hope that you had a great time tonight. It's been a fun episode. A lot of ground to cover. I love big gear talks like this. Zach Markham, you ain't old. I don't consider anyone old until they're at least a year older than my mom, and she's turning 70 this coming March. Well, I think your mom sounds lovely. I don't know that your mom is out skating aggressive. That's the thing. So I am in no way old, but I'm probably too old to be out there skating every week. And that's the stigma that I want to break. You know, Chris Edwards is older than I am. I think Scott Crawford's older than I am. I think I'm a year older than John Julio. Michael Palak is older than I am. These guys are out there skating. And I think that there are a lot of us out there skating. And you can continue skating when you're in your late 40s or early 50s. You just have to change your perspective. And I would love, you know, if your mom is out there skating, send us some clips. Let's see it. More skating when you get older is a good thing. And, you know, we need to promote that behavior because skating's for everybody. All right, scrolling, keep on blading. Pads are annoying but super useful. Knees, wrists, shins, and a helmet, of course. Don't bother with elbows at this point, though. I don't either. I've hurt my elbows a lot, though. I always think about wearing elbow pads, but then the amount of time, I mean, you can seriously wreck yourself breaking your elbow or something like that. Don't know that the risk outweighs the reward. The amount of impact that I'm going to save from an elbow pad being on, you know, I don't know how much it's going to protect me. Unless I have a really big, like, Pro Design style elbow pad, but I'm not going to wear those. It's just, you know, cumbersome and it's in the way. Great point, though. All right. Zach Markham, Braille is a lot to push for no one to care what you do at a skate park, too. Scooter, BMX, blading, quad, they are amazing. I agree. Yeah, Braille's been a really good YouTube channel showcasing all forms of skating. I think I always give it back to the mushroom blading guys for sticking with it for rollerblading and taking aggressive to a place that nobody knew we could go. But now look at us, you know, toe rolls are a thing, you know, spins into grinds and stuff, mono rolls, heel rolls, things like that. That's all just common vernacular for aggressive skating. It looks different than it did 20 years ago. It can be shocking for people coming back because there are much less hammers. But blading is so much better now as a result of it. Sean Michelson, useful tip. Those percussion massagers are great for pre-sesh as well to help warm up your muscles or even mid-sesh. Totally agree with that. I don't bring my percussion massager with me, but I have seen people who do. Especially if you have a tight area like my back. I think a percussion massager can really help with that. It really just loosens up a very specific area of your body. And I could see that helping a lot, especially if you get tightness in one specific area a lot. Ruby, thank you for answering my question and helping me out, my husband. Absolutely, anytime. Thank you for joining us tonight. As always, if you have more questions, make sure that you leave a comment in the video, or you can message me on the website. Always happy to help, or on socials. Always happy to help. And good luck with those storm skates. I'm really intrigued. I'm out of the review business, but it seems like a really great skate for a lot of people. So hope you enjoy that. And then finally, A-Rod, you mentioned that you might work on a flat 60 frame wall for the prime cores. Any update on that? No updates yet. You know, I've got my hands full with standard and all of the skate news. I do have a design that we've tested though, and I feel pretty confident with. I want to take a little bit more time refining it, but no announcements, but I do hope to have some news for that early next year, 2024. All right, I think I'm good. I'm at 2 hours. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Excuse me. It was a great episode, a lot of coverage, a lot of stuff to cover, I should say. As always, we do this every other Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, so thank you for sticking around with me this long. Hope that everybody is able to get out there and skate this weekend. It is going to be cold where I am. Hopefully it is dry, though. We're not going to have a lot of good outdoor times to skate. So if you have the option to skate, put some wheels on your feet, go out there and skate, even if it's just around your neighborhood. You will feel great. Make sure you wear that helmet whenever you go out there, though. As always, if you have any questions, leave a comment in this video. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Find me on the socials if you need to chat faster. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.